Alright, hi everybody. Rose Matter here. It's just about 5 o'clock. We'll give it a couple of minutes first. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. It's good to be doing a live stream again. It's been a little while. Sorry I've been away from the live streams for a bit. Just life has been crazy lately, so haven't really had time to do much else. But really excited to do this today. This is something quite different from what I normally do. We're not just doing, our usual gameplay. Doing something. I hope this will work out. I hope this will work out. Also, hopefully everything sounds good on your guys' end because, like I said, it has been a while, but it's good to be back. So as the title suggests, I am going to be continuing on with my tier list, my ranking. I have become addicted to these. This is so much fun, and you guys seem to like them. The past two have done very well, so thank you guys for watching them if you have, and thanks for joining me today. So I felt that it was very appropriate for part 3 of my tier list videos to live stream my actual ranking of the games that I have live streamed. So I think this is going to be fun. I hope I've got all of them. So is it 5 o'clock now? Are we good? It is 5 o'clock. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. All right, so I've got them in no particular order. LP Mitlucky. So Danganronpa won't be on this list because this is specifically games I have live streamed. So I have done like my usual Let's Plays. So I have done a video of that. So you can check that out if you haven't. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's jump into the first one we've got here, which is a game I haven't played in quite a while, but this is a game I should probably consider going back to because this is good for like just one-off videos. This is Long Live the Queen, which is, I don't know, how do you even describe this game? It's kind of like a, I don't know, how would you guys, if you know Long Live the Queen, it's an interesting game. It's not like a survival game. It's kind of like a time resource management game, if even that. So you play, I believe she's a 15-year-old girl, and she becomes the queen, and you have to navigate her life until her coronation to be able to live long enough, because as we know, back in the day, royalty didn't live very long. There's people out for their heads. They can just die of random diseases. Just a lot can happen. So you have to manage her abilities. You have to train her in things like magic or like political savviness and like fencing and weapons and like manners. So all sorts of things. It's really interesting, and depending on like, and it's a random like events happen up until her coronation, and if your abilities aren't good enough, then you can die. And it's brutal. I've only made it to the end once, and I've played this. Blue says sim / choose your own adventure. Okay, I think that's a pretty good way of putting it. So it was a really hard game, but it is fun just to see all the ways that poor, I believe her name is Eloise, can die. So I'm going to put this at A rank. This is a really fun game, and this is a game I think I should try playing again sometime. I will be really terrible at it because, like I said, it's hard. I've only made it to her coronation one time, and I've played it multiple times. It's always fun, though. It's always a good time, and you guys seem to enjoy when I play Long Live the Queen. So that should be on the back burner. Maybe not anytime soon because we have Halloween coming up, and I tend to focus on kind of scary games for like live streaming and stuff. So we'll leave it for that. All right, Hatoful Boyfriend. Oh man, this one, the pigeon dating simulator. But it's so much more than that. I just thought it was like a meme game where it's like, oh, okay, it's like a play on the fact that there's a lot of weird visual novel dating games out there, so why not have ones with pigeons? But there's like a really deep story behind this, and actually, like, it's very well written. And on the surface, if you only play it once or twice, yeah, okay, it's a pigeon dating sim, but then you get into all sorts of weird stuff about like how the pigeons were created, like why pigeons have taken over the world, like secrets of the school, like you uncover a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's like, I believe if you get all the endings or something, you unlock, there's like a murder mystery. So it turns into something completely different. And I apologize if I've spoiled it for you guys, but Hatoful Boyfriend is not what it seems on the surface. And I've talked about in a previous tier list video how I love a play on genres where you expect one thing and then it goes in a different direction. And Hatoful Boyfriend is a very good example of that. So we're going to put this one also on the A tier list. I got to be careful because I've got like 25 games here. I can't just be putting everything on freaking A list. I got D list here, but I legit don't think I'm going to be having any games on the D tier. Like, I don't think there's any games that I played that I, like, actively did not enjoy playing. All right, What Remains of Edith Finch? I believe this was the first game I live streamed with the exception of World of Horror. Now, I could have put World of Horror on this list because I do exclusively live stream it. Except I think the very first time I played it, I did, like, a noob tries World of Horror. But that is almost exclusively a live stream game, but I did put it as my regular Let's Plays. So I have already ranked that. I love World of Horror. That is a game that I think we will be getting back to with it being October soon. That is a game that's overdue. What Remains of Edith Finch? I'm going to put this as a high B. It was a really interesting... It's not a walking simulator. I don't think so. Like, yes, you do a lot of walking, but it's really cool. It's about this girl who goes to her family's home, like I believe it's her grandparents' home, and in each room she goes into, she discovers, and I believe the family, they all die at like young ages, or they all die of like mysterious circumstances, and each time you go into a different room, you get to see a different one of her relatives and how they met their end. And it's really interesting because it plays with a bunch of different like themes and also like game styles, and it's really well done, but I don't know if I could rank it at A. I'm gonna put it at a high B though. There was some frustrating aspects of it, but for the most part I really liked what they did. Like, there was like a child who died very young, so it's all done in kind of a childlike way where she is imagining something happening in a way that a child would see it, you know, the world. And there's a very tragic one with a very young child where you see it from their perspective. I won't go into any more than that, but it's parts like hopeful and wholesome, but also tragic, and it's very well done. But we're gonna put it at B tier. I don't remember too much about it. I do remember like certain parts of the game more than others because it's been like 2 years since I played this game. But yeah, I do remember like liking my time with it. All right, Hatoful Boyfriend, Holiday Star. This one I'm going to put at a B. It's definitely not as good as the OG Hatoful Boyfriend. It's a fun little kind of side stories. You get back to like the characters that we all know and love, you know, around the holidays. And it's pretty out there. Some of the stories are pretty out there, but I don't remember it quite as much as Hatoful Boyfriend. And it's not as crazy, and that's what I love about Hatoful Boyfriend. So not too much to say about that. I don't remember much about Holiday Star. I enjoy my time with it because it's got the same humor and everything, but it didn't do that weird like heel turn that the original Hatoful Boyfriend had. And also the thing is, like, because you're going into it, you have more of an idea of what you're getting into with it, whereas with the original Hatoful Boyfriend, if you're going in blind, it goes in directions you don't expect it to go into. All right, Oxenfree. Okay, so this one, I'm going to put this one also at a B. It's an interesting game. I don't remember too much about it. I really love the art style. I got frustrated with some of the puzzles with it because you guys know I'm not great with puzzles. It's not even really that much of a puzzle, but like, so there were some parts where I got a little bit stuck. But the art style is really cool. It's very creepy. It's about, I'm trying to remember exactly. It's people who are on an island where there's like weird radio signals happening, and there's a lot of like just weird supernatural things happening. It's a little confusing at times, the overarching story, but it has a very cool style, art style, and just like style of gameplay. It was kind of unique. And the exploration was really cool. The scenery was amazing. Like the place where it is, it had really cool vibes. But the art, like the gameplay itself, was just kind of like meh, not super memorable. But like, yeah, I enjoyed my time. All right, with Oxenfree. Okay, so next we have Imposter Factory. Now this is by the maker of To the Moon and oh my gosh, Paradise Story? Is that the other one? Finding Paradise. Finding Paradise. See, unfortunately, after To the Moon, spoilers of those of you who've not seen my original tier list video for like my normal Let's Plays, I love To the Moon. That one, I believe I put that on S tier. It was so good, so emotional, so memorable. Meanwhile, Finding Paradise and Imposter Factory were a little bit more like, meh. Um, I'm gonna actually put this at C tier. A C tier is not bad. I'm just using it as like the least favorite of the games that I played. Once again, I put this D tier unless something comes up I completely forgot about. I don't think we're gonna be putting any games in D tier. But Imposter Factory, I feel like of the 3 games I played from this creator, it's the least memorable. I vaguely remember it was someone going into a house. There's a party happening. I see. It's like it's not coming to me. Ironically enough, I believe it's like the thing about Imposter Factory is like lack of memory is just it's like somebody forgetting their memories, and I don't remember much about this. Similar to Finding Paradise, I vaguely remember the story, but like To the Moon, I remember almost everything about it because it hit me so hard. These ones were just kind of like meh, and also there's not really much gameplay per se. It's just you kind of walking around, clicking on things. Granted, that's a lot of games that I play are that kind of style. And then just jumping from timeline to timeline, because that's what these games do, is they jump across timelines. But yeah, of the 3, this one was the least memorable for me. I'm sure it was okay, but just because I can't recall much about it, I have to put it at C tier. Okay, next is Needy... oh. Oh, I think this is the wrong one. Whoops. This one's supposed to be, oh my gosh, what is it called? Something Overload. I think this is the, I think I, hold on just a sec. I think I picked the wrong, let me just go into Google here. A Needy Streamer Overload is what it's called. This one is Needy Girl Overdose. This is something completely different, so hold up, guys. Yeah, this one is there another version of this game that came out? Needy Girl Overdose? Is there like a new version that I don't know? We're gonna pretend this is Needy Streamer Overload. This was a messed up game, but it was very intriguing. So this is a game I could get back into because I didn't get all the endings. So that's a mouthful. Needy Streamer Overload is following a streamer who has kind of like her regular self and her persona is super like kawaii and cute and on, and her other self is like depressed, and I feel like it definitely speaks to the streamer culture where you've got 2 personalities. I like to think that. Okay, you guys are saying that it was the original name, or it's like a slightly different one. So, okay, cool. I'm kind of bummed out. I was kind of hoping it was going to be like a sequel or something I hadn't heard about. Anyway, so I like to think that I don't consider myself a streamer. I'm like a YouTuber who streams occasionally. I like to keep my actual personality pretty similar to how I am in real life. I don't go like super... whoa, I'm a crazy personality. I'm just trying to be me here. But you can definitely tell there's like other people who put on an act, and no shade to them. You do what you got to do to be successful. But it really goes into depth about like the mental struggles of a girl who's like has to be just on and has to be lovable, and she has to change her whole personality, whereas like her actual self is like she's just so completely different, and you can just tell throughout the game, it's just affecting her mental state. And you choose like the games that she plays, what she does on stream, and you can choose to like completely mess her up. There's a bunch of different endings. I don't know if there's a quote unquote good ending. I don't think I ever really got one that, you know, ended with her. Like, I think the best ending would probably be for her to just decide to quit and just like live a normal life. But it did a really good job at kind of like going into the mental anguish, and maybe that's a little bit dramatic, but like just the mental toll that being online, perpetually online, can do to someone. So I'm going to put that at A rank. You guys are asking me when at S tier. I'm not just giving out S tiers willy-nilly. There's a couple of games I can think of that are going to be S tier, but we haven't got to them yet. S tier is just that. It's the tippity top. If I had World of Horror here, we will put World of Horror in S tier, if I have it. So we'll pretend we have one on here already. But the next one, Dream Daddy. Not quite S tier yet, guys. I'm sorry. Not quite yet. Dream Daddy was a lot of fun. So I played quite a few dating sims. Those are a lot of fun to do for live streams because there's choices to make and you guys are able to input your opinions in real time and kind of maybe try and sway me to do one thing or the other. And Dream Daddy was a really good one. I actually played this a long time ago on the channel with my brother, where he did the voices of the dads. But unfortunately, our schedules didn't work out, so I think we did like 2 or 3 episodes, and then we just kind of like nixed it. So it was good to get back to this game again. I'm gonna put this at a B though. It was so sweet. It was like really funny, and there was a lot of like, I believe this game came out like in what, 2016, 2017. So the references are a little dated, but it was still a lot of fun for like the memes and the jokes. And it was just really heartfelt, and it was like funny, but also sweet, where you are like a divorced, or no, you're not a divorced dad. You are a dad whose wife or husband. I think that's really cool that you can choose. If you had a wife or a husband, they passed, and you have a daughter named Amanda, and I love Amanda so much. And you move into a neighborhood that has a bunch of, eligible bachelors and also not. There's one who's actually like married. I never, but for the most part, yeah, just like a lot of hot dads that you can date, and it was just a really sweet game. But of the dating games I've played, it's not quite A or S tier. It's very good, it's very sweet, but I'm gonna keep it at B tier. Okay, guys, this is gonna be our first S tier, Valhalla. This game was so cool. Cyberpunk Bartender Simulator. It's just that. It's a pixelated game where you are in a cyberpunk world and you are a bartender and you have customers come in and you just serve their drinks. So there's like a little bit of gameplay where you have to make their drinks and you have to follow like recipes, but it's the talking to the customers and getting to know them, and they become regulars and you learn more about them. And I don't know, I just love the vibe. I love what it is. I don't know what it is about futuristic like cyberpunk. I dig it. So it already had like that going for it. The art style was amazing. The music is fantastic. I love like cyberpunk music. The music was amazing. And I just love the story and the characters, the customers that come in. They're all just like characters. And it's just really cool to like get to know them just as you would as a bartender would. Which is funny because like your character is not the most social person, and yet people still open up to her. And it's just, it's really cool. And you have to also manage your resources. It's a little bit of resource management because you have to make rent. You have to make sure you have enough money at the end of like each month to be able to pay your rent. And it goes over the course of a few months. And you can like buy things for your apartment. It's just really cool. It is all around just an awesome game. And I believe there's another one coming out. I have it on my wish list on Steam. I haven't heard any information yet about like when the new one's coming out. I'm hoping soon. That's definitely going to be a future live stream game though. So yeah, I really enjoyed Valhalla. So that is our first S tier. You guys finally got an S tier on here. Okay. The next game, Sucker for Love. This was really fun. Is it good enough? Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. Is it good enough though to be an S tier? You know what? This might be controversial. I'm gonna put this one at S tier. This one, I really enjoyed it. I think this is one of the most fun dating games yet, and this is another one of those like really out there dating sim games where you summon a monster basically, and you can choose to date a bunch of different like Lovecraftian horrors and monsters. And I don't know what it was, just the art style was beautiful. They somehow managed to make these monsters look quite attractive. The humor was like bang on. Love the humor so much. The the gameplay was actually really interesting because with each monster, you have this. Is it a I always say it wrong. Necro. Oh my gosh, you guys know what the book Necronomicon? I always say it wrong. I always say it wrong. But you have a book and you have to reference the book, and you have to do things in order to like appease each monster, because each monster has different things that they like. And you also have to reference the book in order to like keep yourself from dying, because these monsters will kill you if you piss them off. So there was like a little bit of stress to it as well. Like your life is literally in danger if you don't play it right. And I just loved the comedy, and I felt that the way that they did the gameplay was something a little bit unique. Because a lot of these dating sims after a while can be kind of like this, kind of be samey. But this did something different, and I really liked it. And this is another game where they are coming out with a sequel, and I'm super excited for it. And I hope I can play that one soon. It's too bad this is not going to, like, the sequel won't be out in time for Halloween, because this would have been such an amazing game to play for October. But not yet, unfortunately. So there we go. We got 2 S tier games in a row. Okay, next is Opus Echo of Starsong. This is a really unique game. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, how would you even describe it? I don't know. It's been a while since I played it, but it's a space game. So it's like a space exploration game, but there's a story to it as well, and the story is very good. This is another one where the style is absolutely gorgeous. The gameplay is meh. It's basically you're just running around on different planets, and you have to solve like very basic puzzles, and you have to explore a little bit. The actual like space exploration was really cool because you do have to use resource management. That's a big part of this game, is like you need to make sure you have enough fuel and supplies in order to be able to go from place to place. So that I like. I guess I like resource management. I should play more games that have resource management. It can be stressful, but it's also satisfying when you're able to get it right. The story was quite good too. It was just like this beautiful like romance across the years. You follow these 2 characters as they travel in space together and fall in love. And it has kind of a tragic end. I won't spoil it any more than that. But yeah, the art is beautiful, the music's beautiful, the gameplay is kind of meh, the resource management's pretty good, but we'll put that at a B tier. All right, next is, oh gosh, this one doesn't really show up very well on the thing. Oh, you can't see it at all. But it is House of Ashes, the Dark Anthology. So this is by the makers of Until Dawn. They have some games in their Dark Anthology games. I have only done House of Ashes. There's also, what are the other ones? There's Little Hope, which I have, and I have played the first one, the one where like they're in the ocean. I played that on my own time. Wasn't a big fan of this one. House of Ashes was okay. It was okay. So it's, as is with the Supermassive games, it is kind of like a cinematic choose your own adventure. One of my favorite genres, but this one, we're gonna put it at C tier. It was just okay. I didn't really like many of the characters. I found a lot of them to be pretty annoying, actually. I still, as always, I try to keep them alive. This is one of those games where it's like your choices determine whether characters live or die. No matter how much I hate a character, I always do want to try and keep them alive. But I don't know, maybe it was just like the setting, because it was just like in the desert, and then it was like in these underground, like a temple. I wasn't crazy about like the setting of it. It was kind of boring, and I feel like I hold everything of this, try and hold to the standards of Until Dawn, and none of them have quite met that yet. So I know the Quarry is another one. I have not played the Quarry. So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts if you've played any of the other Supermassive games? Little Hope apparently is a very good one. I have it. I haven't played it yet. That could be a game I could play for like Halloween. But this one was just kind of a meh. I mean, I was like into it while I was playing because it's like playing a movie, but it's not really something I thought about after I finished it. Okay, how to date. Holy cow, this is big. How to date a magical girl. This was a really long game. Holy cow. This was one of those, like dating games, and you are a male character who somehow manages to end up in a school full of magical girls, and you can date them, as is, with the title. I put that in A tier. I'm going to put that in B tier, actually. Not quite A tier. It was okay. I did like the kind of, it's that very standard, like, dating sim where you go to school, you go to class, you can raise your stats. It's very simple in that way, but then the game kind of like at the end, it's like goes in a completely different direction and it becomes more horror, which I kind of dug, but at the same time, the ending felt like, I don't know, it felt like they were just kind of going for shock value a little bit, and I was just like, what? What was that ending all about? But it was okay. The characters were like pretty lovable, and the art style was very cute, and there was something about going back to that kind of classic dating game where it's like you're just going to school and you can choose after you're done, like, I want to go to the park, I want to go to the store, I can buy gifts. I'm like, these are like those dating sim games I used to play like when I was in high school. And there was something kind of nostalgic about it. So I liked it, and then it got dark at the end, which I kind of liked. But B tier is about as high as I feel like I can give that. Okay, next is Case. Oh boy, what was this one about? This was a really short one. This was almost like a side story. It really was. It literally was just kind of like they were telling a story, and you didn't have much agency in it. You just kind of like were reading a story. So you know what? Actually, because of the fact that there wasn't much choice from what I can remember, I think we're gonna put this at D tier because it was very short and there wasn't much you could do. So it was barely a game. At least most of these other things, like you could do stuff. So for that reason, I'm gonna give this a D. Maybe there were some choices, but it was just like barely a game. So there we go. Also, so I have something in the D tier. D doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just means the worst of what I have here. Okay, next is Mad Father. Okay, we're getting into the RPG horror games, which I was on a roll with those. I was playing quite a bit of those. I think Mad Father is probably one of my favorites. Is it the best one? Is it the best of the RPG horror games I played? It was really good, but I think I have one I like more. So we're going to put this on A tier. This one was actually quite freaky. There were some moments that got me with this one, and it was really effed up, but I really liked it. And I played it in the wrong order, I think, because there was like, I was playing a couple of these, and I should have played this one, I think, first, because there were references in another game, which I'm going to be talking about in just a moment. But I really like this game for like the atmosphere. It really had a tense atmosphere about this girl who discovers the truth about her father, and he's not the person that she thought he was, and then she has to try and get out of her house alive. But it was tense. It was it had some moments. It definitely had some deaths, but not as much as another one we're going to talk about in a bit. Okay, so next is going to be Misao. I don't know what it was about Misao. This, I think, is one of my favorite ones because the deaths were so hilarious. Because you died so much and you could die so unexpectedly. So I'm going to put this one also in A tier. I think this might have been the first of the I think it must have been the first of like the RPG Maker horror games that I live streamed, and I really liked Misao. I don't know what it was. It was about just this girl who was bullied at school, and she is getting revenge on people from beyond the grave, and it was hilarious. It was just for me it was like it was not scary like the other ones. I just had a blast trying to see how often I could kill my character. So yeah, I really liked Misao for that. It was a very entertaining, and the puzzles actually weren't too bad. Sometimes with these RPG Maker games, some of the puzzles can like get me stuck, but this one I felt like I never really had an issue with them, so it was like a pretty easy play as well. All right, Road 96. This was a really cool. I really like this game. Oh boy, are we gonna put this at A or S tier? I think I'm gonna put this at S tier. Might be controversial, but I had a lot of fun with this. This is like a randomly generated game where you are hitchhiking across the country and you have to get to the border, I believe, because you were in like an oppressive part of the country and you're trying to get out and get across the border. And there's so many ways that you can have your character die. There's so many things that can happen, and each time you play, things change a little bit, and it's like a little bit of resource management because you have to like keep like money on you. You gotta make sure you have enough money to be able to do things. Uh, you can just run into characters from different because you can just like when you start the game, you start as a random person, and you can interact with characters throughout the different playthroughs, and different things will happen. It's just really cool. It was really well done. And it was like kind of tense too. Like you'd get in certain situations and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get out of this alive? Or like you'd be in a situation where like, I don't have enough money, so I'm going to have to like waste stamina because I'm going to have to walk instead of being able to like get a taxi or something. It was just really cool. I really had a fun time, and it was neat because you could just basically sit down and you could just play the game in one sitting, and you could do it over and over again and like just have different things happen each time. So I really liked that. It was really cool. Okay, the witch's house. I think this is probably up there with Misao in terms of like I just remember the very first I walked into the house, literally walked into the house in the first room, and I died instantly. So that was kind of a good introduction to the witch's house and how hard it was gonna be. I'm gonna put this. Oh God, this is bad to say. I'm gonna put this actually B tier, high B. Witch's house was really interesting, but some of the puzzles were frustrating. I found this is one of the harder of the RPG Maker horror games. And also, some of the deaths did feel, I don't know why, some of the deaths felt unfair. Misao was just fun. The Witch's House, sometimes I got frustrated. I think this was one of the more frustrating ones for me, but I really liked the ending. The ending was a little bit fucked up, though. I was a little bit angry about it, that I worked so hard for, like, the good ending, and then it turns out that there is no good ending. Um, or no, I'm thinking of Mad Father. Mad Father was the one where it took me by surprise with like the quote unquote good ending. But I think the Witch's House, like there were some fucked up endings that you could get this here too. So this one was a little bit frustrating, but I really did enjoy the RPG Maker style. Like this one was really nice, and oh, and then the chase scene at the end was so stressful too. I was like, oh man, yeah, this was certainly an experience. Okay, next one is The Crooked Man. I think of all the RPG Maker games other than... No, actually, I think this is the last one. I like this one the least, so I'm going to put this one at C tier. It just, compared to the other ones, maybe it was an older game, but the art style wasn't nearly as well done. Like, it looked a little bit more simplistic. I also got frustrated with this sometimes. Some of the puzzles I wasn't a big fan of. and it just the story wasn't as memorable as the other one. So there's not really much to say about the Crooked Man. I would say it's probably my least favorite of these style of games that I've played. Let me just check. I haven't checked the. I've been so into this. I haven't checked the comments in a while. Mary Janet says, surprised to see Magical Girl game up so high. I thought it was terrible. You know what? That's totally valid. Like B tier for me is just like it's okay. Yeah, definitely wasn't one of the best ones, but yeah, definitely entitled. If you thought it was bad, then if you'd put that in D tier, that's totally like your call. And Bodney Blue says, just watched your Noob Tries GTA 5 online video. It was fun. Oh, thank you so much. God, that was a long time ago. Thank you. I'm still proud of that one. That was a lot of fun. Okay, The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. This was such a random game. And I went into this as somebody who, like, doesn't know much about Sonic lore. I played the original ones on the Genesis. I played Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, but that was kind of about it. But this was just, like, a really fun game. It was funny. Even as someone who didn't know much about Sonic, I had a good time with it. I'm actually going to put this at A tier. And also, it was free. I have to give it props that Sega just released this completely randomly for free. So that alone just, I was like, I mean, come on. Like, and there was so much polish to it too. Like, it was really well done. The art style was actually very nice. And it was a cool little, like, murder mystery, but not quite murder mystery. And I don't know, it was just a good time. I just had a lot of fun with it. RAD Cosplay, are you going to continue, are you going to keep up the Corpse Party October tradition? Oh, shit. I didn't think about that. Oh, no. I haven't planned that out. Oh, boy, what other games? There's Blood Drive, I believe. I haven't played that one. I didn't think about that. It's October snuck up on me. It feels like every year the months are just going by faster and faster. And I just thought about it the other day. I'm like, oh, I was like, I gotta start thinking about what games I'm going to be playing for October, because I'm like, it's next week. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to do it this year because I didn't give myself enough time. And also next month's going to be really busy. I have like weddings to go to, going out of town. So I'm not quite sure. I don't think so. I think I might have to skip that one, unfortunately. All right, guys. Oh man, this is going to be a short live stream. I thought this was going to take longer, but we've only got a couple of games left. So unless I've forgotten some. So next is Paranormasight, The Seven Mysteries of Honjo. I really enjoy this one. This one was a surprise. I had never heard of it, and I think I just saw it randomly on Steam or somewhere. Maybe I saw it on YouTube and I just got it, and I really liked it. I'm going to put this on S tier. This was a really cool game. The story was awesome. I loved that you had to kind of like solve the mystery of what is going on. The way that you play it is so cool and so unique. I don't want to say much more of that because I don't want to spoil it. If you guys have not either seen my live stream or if you would like to check it out, I'm just saying if you like kind of horror that delves into kind of like old Japanese mythology, it's very cool. And you play like a bunch of different characters and their stories converge. And it's like this big mystery about what's going on in this game. And just putting the pieces together and like the moment it all clicks is just so well done. I really love the story. I love the art style. I loved the way that you play. And also it's just really cool because you use the camera to like move around and look at stuff. And I know that doesn't sound super like out there. It's not like anything groundbreaking, but just the way things can like jump out at you. And I'm not normally one for jump scares, but they did it in a way that wasn't like too freaky, and they just did a really good job. And you have to solve puzzles, or maybe not puzzles, but like you do have to solve situations with information given to you from the game, but it's a little bit obtuse. You actually have to look through your information about like the Japanese mythology, about certain characters. So you have to like remember things about characters, about certain things, and you use that information to solve mysteries and solve situations, or else you die. It's just really well done. I really enjoyed my time with this one. And it's like a decently long game. I think it took me about like 12 to 15 hours to finish, and it was like $20. So really recommend that one if you guys want to check that out. Okay, as Dusk Falls, this was another really cool game. This is a story-driven game, choice-based. That's my bread and butter. I love that stuff. So I'm going to put that one on A tier. This is a game I should get back to at some point, because I said about I want to do a run where I intentionally screw up as much as possible. Um, yeah, this was just like following a family in a situation where they are basically being held hostage by a bunch of thieves in a motel, and you play as one of the characters who is like in the family who are the robbers. You play as the family member who is being held hostage. So like you jump between different characters and their story, and you can make choices. And the choices actually change the story pretty drastically. Like a lot of different things can happen, and it's got that thing similar to what's the series I'm thinking of? Like The Walking Dead, or like Quantum Dream games, where once you finish a chapter, it will show you what other people chose, so you can see if you were in line with that. And similar to Life is Strange is another one where like you can see the choices that other people made and compare them. This is a game where it's like, yeah, you could play this multiple times and get quite a few different results. And I want to play a game where it's just, afterwards, where it's just like, I just fuck up everything. I fuck up all the QTEs, I make all the wrong choices, and just see what happens. But I really like the story. The art style was kind of cool. It was like cel shaded, and I really dug it. It was a really cool game. Okay, here we go. Here's another one I forgot for my RPG Maker games. Ebe. This is definitely up there. This is a very unique game about a girl who is in a gallery, an art gallery, and all of a sudden she's whisked away from her family and she has to try and get back to the real world. I'm going to put this in A tier. Not quite S tier, but I think this is probably one of the better RPG Maker games. I just really like that they use the arts. The actual style was very cool. The puzzles weren't too bad. There were some I got a little bit stuck on, but for the most part, it wasn't too bad. I really liked the characters, and it was just really unique about like you go through this art gallery that's kind of fucked up, and you have to make your way back, and you actually learn stuff about like the art pieces. I don't know. It's just really well done. People have been wanting me to play this for a while. I finally played it recently, and I'm glad I did. So, of course, if you guys do want to recommend some more like horror games, RPG Maker horror games, iCognito, she gave me a couple of recommendations in the chat, so you guys are definitely free to do that as well if you want to. And maybe I can check them out, because I definitely do need some games to play for like live streams next month. I'm definitely going to be getting back into World of Horror, but I could use some more. All right, and what I believe is the last one is Ghost Trick, which is one that I did not too long ago. And I'm putting this up in S tier as well. This was such a delightful game. And it was so good. Just like the style, the characters, amazing. The humor, amazing. The gameplay was so unique. There was one level, if you guys watched me play, when I had to escape out of prison. Fuck that level. Hated that level. But for the most part, it was really enjoyable, and it was really cool to just like learn from your mistakes and just keep trying over and over again. And also use a little bit of common sense about like, well, what happens if I do this? Oh, I did this. So what happens if I do this? It was just really fun. And the cool thing was, like, I'm so thankful that they released this game like so late, because this came out in what, 2010? But I played it on the DS for a little bit. I think I played the first 2 chapters and then I stopped. So I really appreciate that they like released this game and we all get a chance to play it, for people who didn't get to play it on the DS, because it'd be quite expensive, I imagine, to get a DS and this game. So now it's available to people who didn't get a chance to play it. And I just think that's great. And I really had a good time with it. So I'm really glad that they decided to like release this game in 2023, so I got a chance to play it. And the live streams was one of the most fun. It was, I gotta say, of all the live stream games I did, I think Ghost Trick was one of the ones where people were the most engaged. So that just made it even more awesome. So yeah, I really liked it. I think Ghost Trick is like one of my favorite games that I've live streamed, both because of the game itself and also because you guys were so awesome with like helping me out and just commenting and all the little inside jokes and stuff. Oh, Icognito asked about Fear and Hunger. Oh no, I didn't stream that. That was just that was a noob tries. I didn't put that in with my regular Let's Plays because I haven't played enough of it to, I feel like, to really give it a score. But that is a game that Fear and Hunger. That's a game I could definitely live stream. I even commented about that. I have to get the mod to censor it for sure. But that is a game I could definitely add is Fear and Hunger because that would be amazing for you guys to be able to comment as I'm playing it. You can help me out or you can intentionally like give me bad advice so that I get screwed up. But yeah, like I could do World of Horror. I could live stream some Fear and Hunger if I get the mod for it. Yeah, so there's a couple of games I could play. But that's it. I was just like, I felt like that went so fast. This is a little bit shorter than I was expecting. Sorry guys. Only 45 minutes, but I think that is all of them, unless I'm missing something. I went back over my videos to make sure I got them all, but anyway, that's gonna do it for my tier list. So it took some time, but we got some games up in S tier. For the most part, yeah, I'm like really happy with the games that I did play. And like looking at these are some games I'm like, oh, I should go back to these. And that's what's kind of cool about going over this is like being reminded about these games that I may have forgotten about because I played them like 2 years ago. Games like Long Live the Queen, like that's a game I could play again. What's another one, like Needy Streamer Overload, like that was pretty fun. I feel like it's been a while I could play that game again. And it's also reminding me of games that are like sequels are coming out, like Sucker for Love and what's the other one, Valhalla, that there's going to be a sequel coming out for that. So those are games that I can get like hype about. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with my where I've put everything. I don't know. What do you guys think? Some of them I can see people in the chat are disagreeing with me. Some people are agreeing with me. But for the most part, there aren't too many games that... Oh, wait. Hold up. There's a game I skipped over. I skipped over this one. Because there was another game that I was just like not crazy about. And that's this one. Milk, outside a bag, inside a bag. This one is another one where I'm like, we'll just stick this on C tier really quick. I felt like I had missed one. I felt like I had missed one. So this one was a very trippy game. It's about a girl with depression and social anxiety who has, I believe she has like agoraphobia and she can't go outside and it's her just like trying to go get some milk. I believe there's like a sequel. There's like milk inside a bag and then this is milk outside a bag, inside a bag. So we're going to lump them both together. It was just kind of a meh game. I wasn't crazy about the art style. I know it was intentionally done that way. It's very minimalistic. But I just couldn't vibe with it. It made me feel off. And maybe that was like what it was trying to do because it's just this depressed agoraphobic girl who's just, trying to like get through day-to-day life. But it didn't click with me very much. So I'm going to put that at C tier. But yes, I think that is all of them now. Okay. So there we go, guys. I'm sorry for the little bit of a shorter live stream, especially because it has been some time since I have been able to live stream. But yeah, so we've got October coming up, so yeah, I'll have to like put some games on my to-do list. So World of Horror for sure. Get the mod for Fear and Hunger, give that a try. I'm probably going to be terrible at it because I haven't played Fear and Hunger in over a month. That's a game I've been meaning to like get back into, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do like a noob tries part 2, but I got to be in the right, like, I don't know, got to be in the right mood for it because that game just kind of fucks me up. Like it creeps me out. So it's not a game that I like look forward to playing. But maybe if I have you guys with me when I'm live streaming, maybe it will be a little bit more bearable. So yeah, you guys are commenting, so I'll have to make some notes, and I'll also just like look through my wish list, through my Steam library, and see like what I haven't played yet. And yeah, I'm gonna try and definitely do more live streams. I'm sorry for like the lack of live streams for the past couple of weeks. I'm gonna try and make up for that, but like I said, it's gonna be a busy month, but I will do my best, and hopefully like have a spooky game like marathon. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for me, guys. I'm trying to think of what other tiers I could do. I feel like I've kind of gone through all the ones I wanted to. I did like my regular Let's Plays. I've done my anime, done my live streams. So I guess that would be it for games. I guess I could start doing like tier lists of characters. I could always do tier lists of like, I'm sure you guys would love to see like Higurashi character tier list, or Umineko character tier list, Danganronpa character tier list. Although I have done a Danganronpa best and worst characters. So I don't know if like that would be necessary to do as well, but tier lists are so fun. I see why people do this. Like I don't know, it's really easy to do. I don't know why I thought it was going to be harder, but like it's quite fun to do, and you guys seem to like them. So yeah, I appreciate your guys positive feedback to them, and thank you for joining me for this live stream. I promise the next one I do is going to be a little bit longer. I know I was talking about horror games, but I'm also trying to see if I can get a ROM for Tomodachi Life, because I want to live stream Tomodachi Life. I don't know why. I don't know why I want to play Tomodachi Life. I haven't stopped thinking about it lately. But I want to get back into that game, and I think that would be kind of fun to live stream too. I know it's not horror at all, but like I kind of want to do that. Okay, here's some other ones. You guys are talking about like protagonist tier list and endings tier list. Nerp recommended Night in the Woods. That is one actually I have on my, either I have it on my wish list or I have it, and I haven't played it. So you guys are all giving me great recommendations. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, I will let you guys know when I'm going to be live streaming next and what I will be live streaming. So keep an eye out for that. I will have it posted on my Twitter at RoseMatterPlays, all one word, and turn notifications on for my channel. So when I do have like my live stream scheduled, you guys will be able to see that and you will be alerted to it. As I said, we're going to be getting into kind of like the horror games next month, but I'm going to try and pepper in some like, more chill games as well. So yeah, it's going to do it for me. I am going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining me for the live stream. This was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I hope to catch you in my next live stream. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.